Hello and welcome to another video. As usual, my name is Jeffrey. This of course is the Inquisitive Universe, and today we're going to be talking about the Realme C75. Now this phone is incredibly popular for some reason. I mean, I have been bombarded with ads about this phone, no matter where I run to. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere they're throwing this phone at me, right? People have often asked me, Jeffrey, Realme C75 guy. Everybody's been like, talk about this phone, Jeff. So I want to talk about this phone. Now, basically, before we go in summary, just small overview. There's a way we rate phones: entry level, mid range, flagship. So under entry level, you have entry level budget, then lower mid range, upper mid range, premium mid range. Then you've got flagship killers, budget flagships, then super flagships and all that. Like that's how we are rating this one. This phone is barely in lower mid-range. I would even consider it to be a budget phone near the very bottom. But hey, people would just believe whatever it is that they want to believe. But when it comes to looking at the specifications, when it comes to rating phones, this phone is firmly budget. Some people could consider it just in the lower mid-range category, but it's firmly budget. Now let's proceed. Let's start with the body. Now this phone is a plastic phone. It weighs about 196 grams and they're offering IP68 water protection. They're also saying it's a rugged phone. I think there's some ruggedity standard that they're offering there. But there's also an asterisk that, this phone is depending on how you use it, blah, blah, blah. It could break and whatnot. There's an asterisk. So that's caveat emptor, buyer beware. But a lot of your famous or favorite celebrity talking head YouTubers won't tell you this, right? I have seen them trying to use the phone as a hammer, trying to use it to slap somebody into next Tuesday, they're telling cars to drive over it. I'd like to see them do that on concrete though, not on ordinary sand, but hey, it is what it is. Now they are letting cars drive over it and whatnot, and they are trying to tell you that this phone is rugged. It's a rugged phone. I mean, the phone is okay. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with the phone. The phone is fine, but most people buy phones, right? When you buy a phone, it's not because you want to use it as a hammer or you want to put it on the ground so that a car will drive over it. Nah, of course accidents happen, but I have never had a car drive over my phone in all my years, right, of using a smartphone. I started using phones since 2006 and never ever. I've dropped a phone in water, yes, but that was like 10-15 years ago, right? That hasn't happened in a long time. Now, having a car drive over my phone is one of those things that would rarely ever happen. Rarely, it's very rare. So to market a smartphone on that basis actually beats me. It beats the hell out of me. I can't really wrap my head around it, right? Because when we buy phones for communication and for computing purposes. And if the phone cannot do those two, forget about all these gimmicks. They won't fly. But hey, let me not waste time. Let's proceed. Let's talk about the display. Now, this one has a 6.72 IPS LCD. The resolution is 1080p, which is actually great. There's 90 Hz of support here. It's fairly bright at 690 Hz. It's got an armor shell glass in front, and then it's got 392 ppi. They are offering AOD, according to what GSM Arena is reporting, but on an IPS LCD, that's a gimmick. So when you see gimmicks, please, you need to know how to spot it. But when it comes to display quality, the display is actually thumbs up, 1080p LCD. Fine. Really, it's not on the same level as what you get from the AMOLED displays, but great display, right? Let's move on. Let's talk about performance. Now, this one has got a MediaTek Helio G92, right? MediaTek Helio G92 is simply a repackaged MediaTek Helio G85. So which means you get around 260,000 on Antutu, which is okay. It can run the full version of Android quite alright, yes, and it can handle the big versions of all the apps, the main Facebook, the main Instagram, the main whatnot, yes. But as this is a budget processor, you need to be able to keep your expectations in check, right? At least Warzone Mobile has faded off a bit. This one won't be able to play those games. You won't be able to play Warzone Mobile. Won't be able to play, those high-end games now, Warzone Mobile, NBA 2K. You won't be able to play that. You won't be able to play, Grid Auto Sports, right? It will struggle with PlayStation 2 emulators for certain games, because I have seen this SoC in action, right? Because I have a friend who uses the same MediaTek, not even the G85, the G88, and they saw me playing, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 on the PS2 on my phone, and they were like, they wanted to play it too, and then it was lagging terribly on their smartphone, and I was like, bro, this experience, just delete this and let me give you PS1 emulator. I was like, no, I'll manage it. But that's the performance that the Helio G92 offers. So around 260k on Antutu, you need to when you're buying this, temper your expectations. If you are the regular user, the ordinary person who does nothing beyond social media and calls, this is great for you. But if you are a gamer that wants to play serious games beyond the normal HD 3D games on Play Store, you should probably set your sights a little bit higher and look for something with at least 400k on Antutu. This one has around 250k on Antutu, so the performance is just barely above entry level. It's just there, it's just okay. Don't expect too much from this processor. Now let's move on. Let's talk about the cameras here. Now the camera here, there's a 50MP main camera on the back, and then there's an 8MP selfie at the front. They all record videos of 1080p at 30 fps. Now again, it's the usual thing. What you get here is mostly good for bright or well lit conditions, well lit rooms. If you try and take pictures in low light or otherwise, the results may not really be all that. But when you take pictures in well lit areas and well lit conditions, it will be okay, it will be all right. So now let's talk about sound. There are two speakers on this one, dual speakers. They're not necessarily stereo, they're just dual speakers as reported by GSM Arena. There's no 3.5mm jack here. That one is one, I don't hold this one against them, right? So for the comms, there's the usual. There's 4G, there's Bluetooth 5, there's Wi-Fi 5, there's GPS, there's USB-C, it's a 2.0. And then for features, you have a side-mounted fingerprint scanner, which is usually very fast, accelerometer, gyroscope, proximity sensors, compass, light and ambient sensors. And then for the battery, you have a 6000 mAh battery, right, that charges at 45 watts. The price for this one, for the 8GB RAM, 256GB variant, starts at 245k, but they're currently running a promo on Jumia, so the prices we'll get the prices and then I'll give them to you, right? You'd see them on the screen. But this phone, as it stands, when it comes to, forget about all the gimmick about using the phone as a hammer to slap nails into walls, it is a decent budget phone. The display, fantastic. The battery life is okay. Charging speed is wow, but everything else here is budget. Everything else here is budget. For my money, this phone should not be selling anything over 170, 180k, but that's my opinion. It's Jeffrey's opinion. Jeffrey is a small YouTuber that nobody cares about, right? For my opinion, because I could look at phones, you know, again, I'm going to call the Itel P55 5G, right, with better performance and a camera that improves because that one has AI. This one, Illuji 88, I'm not sure Illuji 88 has an NPU inside that learns with time to upgrade your photo output. And they sell for much less. So, for me, anybody that carries over 200k to go and buy Realme C75 probably doesn't really know what they want to do with their money. There are other phones that would give you better performance. I mean, honestly, the Redmi Note 14, for all of its complaints, Redmi Note 14 4G, for all of the complaints I have against that phone, is around the same price point as this one and offers everything better. Better display, better cameras, you know, the same fast charge. Come on, guys. So what would you be spending? I mean, seriously, if you don't believe me, get on GSM Arena and then check Redmi Note 14 4G versus this Realme C75. Or if you don't want to spend that much, you go and check out the Itel P55 against this one. But hey, that's just my opinion. That's why you people asked me to talk about my opinion, and here I am volunteering my opinion. So please don't kill me. So yeah, that's me trying to combine Nigerian languages together. Yeah, with that, we've come to the end of this video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and share small actions like yours that help small channels like mine grow. And of course, I will see you in the next one. Tata.